Alright guys, welcome back to Duty's Daggers, and it's another slip joint video. Hopefully you guys are cool with that. Um, this is a new red slip that I just made for my GEC Indian head. My number, what is it again? My number 32, Engineer. The special factory order from C. Reisner Cutlery. I can't talk today, apparently. This is the Indian head from Traditional Pocket Knives and GEC. This is an absolutely beautiful knife, and I want to do a full video on it. I did the unboxing, but since the unboxing, I've noticed some other really interesting, cool things about this knife that I wanted to show you guys. I just made the slip for it, so I figured I'd show that off too. I tried to match this red as best I could. This is the best red that I could find, or at least the closest red that I could find to this bone color. So it's not exact, but it is red, so better than nothing. So, this is such a cool knife, man. We have camel bone covers, camel bone, that have been dyed this really nice red. It's almost a burgundy in some lights. But you look closely, there's definitely like some cool, interesting texture to it. It's not just like completely solid color. They look really, really good. The back spring and liners look so good, man. The way this handle pattern is, I forget what it's called, but you know, they have like these 2 points on either side. Kind of like is pulled out here on either side. So we have this really crisp line right here where that comes to a point. And look at that. Look at how all those layers come together right there at that point. So cool. Everything has a really nice polish on it, especially the blades. Let's pull the blade out and let me wipe it. Look at this, man. Look at this. Look how reflective it is. It's a mirror. It's a full-on mirror. Full-on mirror. There's me. Yeah, freaking beautiful, man. Really cool blade shape. I think it's a great blade shape for a wide variety of things. You know, it's a clip point, but it's got that low tip, so you can still do the utility cutting, and you got the belly for when you need it. A large amount of straight here for cutting, slicing, I mean. We have the C. Reisner Cutlery, inscription on the blade. And then we have the Indian head shield, and then the 2 on the tang right there. And then you can only see it when it's in the half stop, but it says Indian head underneath those 2 Indian heads right there. So if you don't know or didn't watch the unboxing, basically the story of the Indian heads is Austin, the owner of Traditional Pocket Knives, his grandfather was into knives as well, and he actually trademarked this logo, the Indian head logo. He used it for a couple things, and then that fell to Austin now, and he decided to do something with it. He contacted, I forget the owner of Great Eastern Cutlery, but he contacted him and asked him if he wanted to do something, and they created this. It's basically it's called an SFO, a special factory order. So they collaborated on this, and GEC made them. It's a pattern they've made before, you know, the 32 Engineer, but with these, specific color bone, and obviously with the shield inlay and the Indian heads and the inscription on the blade and all that stuff is unique to this knife. It's really cool. There was this version. There was also an acrylic version with acrylic covers, which really looked good too. I almost got that one, but I'm kind of glad I decided to go with the bone. It's just a little more natural and traditional looking. Before we go much further, let's do a quick size comparison so you can get an idea of how big it is. I think it's a perfect knife size. So here's my GEC 86 Yellow Rose, which is bigger. Here's the 72 Plainsman, also bigger. Here's the 15 TC Barlow, which is smaller. And let's get out the 47 Viper as well, which is going to be a little bigger. So it's bigger than the 15, but a little smaller than these other three, which is such a good size. This is like the largest slip joint I like to carry. Or the Plainsman is also this is like the largest size slip joint I like to carry. I just like them on the smaller side. That's just how I like my slip joints to be. Let's put up a few other modern slip joints. Jack Wolf Vampire Jack, also with this kind of handle pattern. A little bigger. How about the Devo Knives Nip Slip? And of course we gotta have the traditional pocket knives ORJ out here. So these are all a little bit bigger, except the nip slip. So just great size, really, really good size. Now let's get into some of the interesting, cool details here. And I think even if you're not a slip joint guy, you'll probably find some of this stuff pretty interesting. If you're a knife guy, I feel like you would appreciate some of this stuff. So a lot of two-bladed traditional pocket knives, slip joints, are pretty fat this way because, you know, they have to accommodate two blades inside of the handle. This one, however, is not that thick. In fact, it's pretty much the same thickness as this Plainsman. It's a little thicker than the 15 Barlow. Where's the the Viper's right here. It's about the same. Actually, the Viper might be even a little thicker. So it's a really nice thickness. Now, I don't usually go for the two-bladed slip joints because for that same reason, they can be a little fat, and it feels like a kind of a more bulky thing in my pocket, which I don't like as much. But this is such a good middle ground. This is the best that I've seen two-bladed slip joint out there because of this. Now, the reason it can be so thin is look at this. Look down at the top and look at the tang here. This is the primary long blade here. Look at that notch that's only on one side. See that notch right there? The secondary pen blade is kind of sitting in that notch. Isn't that interesting? So if we open up the primary blade, it's not the same on both sides. So we have the long pull, and then we have a swedge on the show side. Then we flip it over, there's no swedge, and we have this like kind of wider, fatter swedge that goes all the way back to the punch grind. That's what this little notch is that you're looking at from the top. Is this area that's ground away here, and that's exactly where the pen blade slams into place. Boop, right in that little notch. So having it be like that, you know, doesn't have to be as thick. I just think that's really cool. I don't know if that's nerdy and probably a little bit nerdy, but look at that. Isn't that neat? I've never seen that before. Is this the only GEC that where it does that? Somebody tell me. Somebody that knows more about GEC, tell me. Or is this the only one? I think it's a really good idea. I think most people probably don't want a super fat knife in their pocket. I don't know. But yeah, just looking from the top, and look at how tight this clearance is right here. The tip of the primary blade. Look how close that is to the side of that brass liner in there. When I first got it, I was like, holy shit, is it touching? It's not, because there's no rub marks on the blade. Look at how tight that is, man. And look at how close this pen blade comes to touching the primary blade. It's crazy, man. traditional slip joints are not known for having like crazy tight tolerances and clearances, but god damn it, if this one doesn't have some pretty tight clearances, man, it's nuts. So cool. Also, there's a double brass liner on this side and only a single on that side. Why is that, I wonder? I guess to give that extra little space. See how this blade is kind of sitting on top of that second one? Yeah, that's why. To get that little extra space to get the blade to fit in there. It's cool, man. It's just super duper compact, you know. Now, the benefit of having two blades, I think, is really exemplified well in this knife. Some slip joints have, some double-bladed slip joints have like two clip point blades, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think if you're gonna have two blades, you would want each blade to have their own blade shape, so you have variety there. So that's why I think this is just such a great double-bladed slip joint, because we have a clip point, and then we have just a regular spear point over here, pen blade. So you have options, Also, like, say you're in some kind of setting where maybe you're around a bunch of old folks and that you think might be scared by a knife, you just pop out this little one and open up a letter or whatever you got to do. This is not an intimidating knife. I don't know why I said old folks. It could be anybody, but you know what I mean. Like, you're in a situation where you don't want to pop open a blade. You could just pop open this little one. I don't think anyone would be scared by this. I've been using this one to open up letters mostly. This little pen blade, but it could be good for really anything. I think it'd be a pretty decent utility cutter even. Now I do want to shout out the gentleman who sharpened this knife for me. As you know, when you get a new knife from GEC, they don't come very sharp. And it's something that I've never understood. Maybe someone can explain it to me, but they just don't come very sharp. Who knows? Maybe they think that you want to put your own edge on how you like it, maybe. Who knows? But anyways, so I was looking around for somebody to sharpen for me. And there's a lot of knife sharpeners around, but not all of them are kind of geared towards traditional slip joints, Sharpening a slip joint or a traditional slip joint can be a lot different than sharpening a modern knife. So I wanted to find someone that was, in that lane. This gentleman was recommended to me by kind of a well-known guy in the traditional pocket knife world. And it is Buckeye Sharpening on Instagram. He also has a YouTube channel. I'm going to link that down below in the description. I'll also put his Instagram handle down there too. He did such a good job, man. So I got this. I sent it off to him pretty quickly after I got it. So I'm so happy to have it back and be able to actually carry it. But I don't know how well the edge will show up on video, but it looks really nice and uniform, and it's very sharp. Really, really sharp. He also sharpened my Plainsman as well. I sent both of these to him. Just very, very nice, very sharp edges. So I'm stoked, man. I'm really, really happy. Oh man, yeah. I'm just happy to have some really nice sharp blades here. So I would recommend him very much. He was very communicative as far as like the details. He was just very professional. He doesn't ask for your money until the knives are sharpened, and he has the label printed to send them back to you. And his rates are excellent. Really, really good rates. I was surprised at how good a job he did for the amount of money he charged. Really seems like a great guy too. So, really recommend him. If you guys have any traditional knives you want to get sharpened, or really probably any, I'm sure you can sharpen anything. But if you look at his Instagram page, it's mostly traditional stuff. So I think that's his jam. So yeah, just wanted to shout him out because I was very happy with his work. So there you go. There's a little more detail on the 32 Indian head from Traditional Pocket Knives and GEC. I love this thing. I think it's my most beautiful slip joint. Well, it's between that and my Yellow Rose. This is also an extremely beautiful knife. I don't know. These two are both my my prettiest slip joints. So I'm very happy with it. And this is a pricey knife, about $250. I gladly paid that price because number one, it's a cool thing. You know, my buddy Austin of Traditional Pocket Knives is his special order with his Indian head logo on it. And I bought it for that reason. I also thought the knife looked really good. But then when I got it and saw these details, I saw that the blade had mirror polish on it. I saw how really just excellent the fit and finish was. Then I felt even better about spending the $250. So in my mind, it was 100% worth it. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful knife. That's it. Thanks for watching. Like the video before you head out. I'll see you next time.